Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Hayden Newberry Fishing, and we are back again in the back of the camper tonight. And I wanted to share some new information with you guys. I did a couple of these more informative videos last week of some research and stuff that I did, and wanted to share it with you guys. If you guys aren't familiar with the tournament world, or if you are tournament fishermen, and wonder, I guess, how guys know what it's going to take to win a tournament a lot of the time and everything, is because we vigorously research these lakes before we show up to them. And this is stuff that I like to do. I like to go back into records and stuff like that at tournaments and see what shows itself, or what you can expect going into a lake. A lot of times you can expect that if you're catching a bunch of 2-pounders you might win, whereas opposed to if you're like on Sam Rayburn and you look at the previous tournaments from that year, you know you're going to get smoked. So anyway, this is a new one. I truthfully just thought of it just a little bit ago, and I was like, this would be really cool to do. I'm going to do some quick research and see what I can get for you guys. So I wanted to research and see if it has gotten harder to win a tournament because of Livescope. And I was just thinking of a few ways to do that, what information really would show that. I think it's pretty hard to definitively say yes or no, but just some interesting numbers for you guys. So what I did is I went to the MLF, used to be FLW, that organization switched hands, but they have records from everything, and I'm comparing results from 2022 to results of tournaments back in 2015 to 2012. So they don't go to the same lake at the exact same time every year, so sometimes you have to go different years. But I know that prior to 2015 and prior, especially at that level, and that's why I used the BFL level, is because people down there and the lower tournament levels didn't have as easy access to the newer technologies and things. There were a lot of guys in the higher tournament levels in those years that were really starting to use it and hush hush type of stuff. There was guys that were using it way before it hit the mainstream, but 2015 I feel like is at least a good time where if guys were using it, they had some really early access to that stuff. But anyway, we're comparing tournaments, and I chose September, late August, September. I think one of these tournaments, the dates were right at the end of August, but that time of year, because bait and everything gets scattered, that is when Livescope is at its strong point a lot of the time. So I felt like if it was going to show itself, those would be the ones to do it. I wasn't going to pick a lot of bed fishing tournaments and say, oh, Livescope this year was better than it was this year. So fish aren't on the beds this time of year. I picked lakes that actually would play to the Livescope game. So actually I really almost could have skewed these, because I made these choices based on what I know from experience, or lakes that Livescope can shine on. So anyway, we'll get to the numbers and stuff. I think these are super interesting. So Lake of the Ozarks is what we're going to start out with in September 2022. And the numbers that I use, I'm just going to give you guys two of the weights. These are all the 2-day super tournaments in the fall. So that also to me helps with it, because it's not just a 1-day blowout type of deal. It's at least spread over 2 days at a lower level. So Lake of the Ozarks 2022, we're going with first place and then the weight that it took to get a check. So we'll see, is it harder to win, or is it even harder just to even get a check in these tournaments because more people can catch more fish? So 2022, now that I've explained all this, first place was 35 pounds and 7 ounces, and it took 15 pounds and 3 ounces to get a check. Rewind to 2015 tournament, almost the exact same time of year, 2-day tournament in the BFLs, and first place was 39 pounds and 8 ounces, and it took 15 to get a check. So it kind of equals out a little bit there, because it took a little bit more to get a check in 2022, but it actually took more to get a check, or more to get first place in 2015. So I would say that that's almost similar. One thing also to consider with these, Sorry, actually, I don't know where I was going with that. I had a thought in the middle of that. I'm thinking too many things at the same time. Anyway, so that's Lake of the Ozarks 2022 and 2015. And then we are going to rewind. Actually, just thought of what I was going to say. Sorry, I do all these videos in one cut. But what I was going to say is that also I used what it took to get a check, because that means that the size of the field doesn't necessarily affect it as much. So if there was 200 guys, and they always use a percentage of the field, which the fields are actually generally pretty similar in the BFLs anyway, but that's, I guess, my explanation to you guys of why I used what it was to get a check, because that the field can change that number, so you can't use 20th place, and there might be 200 people in this field and 50 in that field. Anyway, so Lake Hartwell, that's also one that I thought September, that's where Livescope can shine. These numbers are interesting. Lake Hartwell 2022 two-day tournament, first place was 38 pounds and 6 ounces. Took 16:11 to get a check. This one I had to rewind to 2012 because they don't go to Hartwell every single fall. So I passed 2015, I got to 2012 and I found one. First place was 28 pounds and 13 ounces, and it took 15.6 to get a check. So that's a 10-pound increase over 2 days to get a check there. Or not get a check, to get first place, and it also went up to get a check. So that, I mean, at least just in some quick numbers, says that Livescope may have made it harder there. We're going to go down Kentucky Lake. You'll notice I did do a wide span across the country too, just to try to help spread the numbers and everything out more. So Kentucky Lake 2022, two-day tournament again, BFLs, all fall tournaments. First place, 30 pounds and 8 ounces. Check, 10 pounds and 8 ounces. 2015, first was 44 pounds, and it took 13 pounds 8 ounces to get a check. I know what a lot of you guys are going to say, that no, Kentucky Lake, it has taken a downturn since 2015. So I don't know, which the Tennessee River is notoriously bad in the fall, so that was also why I went ahead and used Kentucky Lake. But the argument can be made that Kentucky Lake is worse than it was in 2015. So, but that being said, it did take an extra almost 15 pounds to win in 2015 as opposed to 2022, and that is over a 2-day tournament, and then also it took more to get a check. But on to the next one, Sam Rayburn. These were right actually at the start of fall in both of these tournaments. 2022, it took 48 pounds 14 ounces, and it took 13.6 to get a check. In 2014, that was the next up that I could find of a similar tournament. First was 36 pounds and 11 ounces, and it took 12.15 to get a check. So that's another increase on Rayburn to get a check, a significant increase. That's 12 pounds over 2 days, 12 extra pounds over 2 days since Livescope has came out. So I will say, before I read the last one too, that at this point when I was reading through these numbers, I truthfully am a person that didn't think Livescope, just in some quick layout of numbers, would be showing that it possibly has made that much of a difference. But it does seem, just based on what it takes to get a check in a few of these and everything, that Livescope might actually be making somewhat of a significant difference from way before to what it takes to get a check. Anyway, we'll go down. Now I'm going up north because Livescope does play in the hand of smallmouth fisheries and things. So we're up on the Detroit River. 2022, first place, 46 pounds, 13 ounces. Took 34.12 to get a check. And then in 2015, first place, 44 pounds, 1 ounce. And it took 32.3 to get a check. So those are very similar. But again, it did go up. And if you lay out a bunch of numbers and it's consistently going up even a little bit, it will point you in that direction. But anyway, I thought these numbers were interesting. I think I might go back just because on these tournaments I specifically chose ones that would play to Livescope. So it would be interesting to use more tournaments and then maybe do some springtime ones and things mixed in there, because springtime is a time of year where I feel like Livescope can be almost irrelevant in a lot of tournaments. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the information. Subscribe to the channel if you like it and you want to hear more of it, because there will be more. Thanks for watching.